Happy New Year to you, Chris.
Yes.
Did you bring the macarons?
2023.
No.
No, you did not.
No macaroon.
I was kind of hoping for that.
Were you really?
I should have said something.
Yeah, you probably should have.
He makes the best macarons.
He spent like all day
Oh,
slaving
I'm sure.
away to make all
Those
this.
are not
so
easy
is it
to make.
macarons or macaroons? Like
Depends on
what
who
am
you
I
ask.
Potato.
Okay, I like it.
But there's a macaroon and a macaron.
Okay,
And a
so
macaroon.
I think like the macaroon that I grew up with, and we may have already talked about this, is more like the coconut.
The coconut, right.
Yeah. Okay, so that's macaroon.
I believe so,
Okay.
according to Kids Baking Championship.
Okay. Well, you know what?
Which is
They
where
know
I get
things
all
better
my
I've
than
been
me.
saying it
information.
wrong because I thought it was just macaroon and he was making macaroons.
I think he's making macarons.
Well, shit.
Whatever they are,
So
they're
that's
really
that.
good.
Yeah.
There you go.
So,
Yeah.
and they're
But they're good.
They're delicious.
Call them what you want.
Well, he was supposed to make them green this time.
What
with the
happened?
strawberry inside, but I guess he just forgot. Because Parvati got this like really pretty, because we went to Hobby Lobby and got the dye.
Mm-hmm.
And she like, there's like a good size panel where she can like pick out the colors. And she was like really going through the greens. And she's like, I think, well, is it this one and this one? I'm like, I don't know. One is more like a sage green and one's more like a Kelly green. And yeah,
That's intense.
it
and
was.
then he didn't even use them.
Well, you know what that
and
means.
then he doesn't even use the green.
He just has to
Like,
make them
brought it
again
home.
Way
to
to go,
just
Chris.
test that
Should've
out for
gone with
next
the
year.
Pavlova.
Yeah.
I feel like this is farther away than it normally is. I'm usually like this.
I know, because you're like, Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Doo.
Because we're usually sitting on the couch.
Should be
I
popping
know.
a little.
Yeah. You know.
I can't help it.
Well, I mean, you could probably
I mean,
move
I
a little
don't
bit
need it
closer,
to be.
but
I just feel like
just
usually
as
I'm
long as
eating
it's
it.
pointed at you.
I just moved it. I'm
Kathy.
sorry.
I know. I'm horrible with the listen.
With direction?
After we had
With Rudolph's
that
and
too.
direction?
Direction, right, left. Tell me what to do.
Oh, goodness.
So we had puppets
Oh God.
in the
Rudolph.
last show at Rudolph at
I'm so
LCT.
sad I couldn't go to that, but every single show was.
Oh, man, you were busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were very busy.
Wow, that's no excuse. But every performance is the same as our performances,
Right.
so I can't.
Oh,
I have to be here.
I know.
Yeah.
We tried to make, you were able to make it over to see Elf.
Elf,
We just
We
couldn't
just
seem
couldn't.
to get the schedule to line up so we could make it over here because I wanted to see Elf. I was in Elf when LCT did it, and I was Deb.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it was like I've been on the stage twice, and that was one of them. It was the first one.
That's a good role.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to do. I'm not a dancer, so it was good that I was not in the ensemble.
You were dancing, though, in those heels. I was so worried the whole
Yeah,
time.
you did.
I saw.
was so worried the whole
isn't
time.
that your the cover picture of your?
I think it might still be,
think
yeah.
you're-
Yeah. I had a lot of fun with my like 2 little dance moves, but like I suck, so.
Oh no, we thought it was pretty good. So
It's all about the attitude. If you just look like you know what you're doing when you dance,
yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's half the
I
battle.
can fake it.
right.
Yeah,
Fake it
unless
so you
somebody
make
who
it.
actually knows how to dance can look at me and go,
Character
"What
dance.
the hell?"
You know?
Yeah, I mean, does
Kind of a
Deb
bubble
really know
choice.
how to dance?
Yeah.
You know, you're just dancing like Deb.
Yeah.
That was good.
We good?
I think he's like, I think everything's recording now.
Oh.
Oh.
And has been for a hot minute.
Good.
Yeah. Because we always forget to do this part, but let's do an introduction.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
We do it about 45 minutes in, usually.
I know, that makes it really difficult. Because I'm like, so do I slide the intro in here now when I edit, and I'll just do a hard cut,
No,
throw the
no.
intro in, and everybody thinks our podcast is done. 45 minutes in, we introduce
Right.
ourselves.
No. Okay, so welcome to Drama Mamas.
Yeah.
I'm Angela.
I'm Kristen.
And I'm Kathy.
And today we have with us
I'm Dan.
Hi, Dan.
Thanks for having me.
Dan is the producing director at Theater Winter Haven.
That's true. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so
Oh.
much for.
I need my paper. I almost
Yes.
forgot I made a paper.
What is the paper?
Well, it's my, like, shit I want to ask you.
Oh, okay.
It's her,
Hey, look, I
her
took your
train
tip
of
and made
thought.
it big.
I know, so you can see it.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is exciting. Wow,
Speaking
that's
of
a lot
seeing
paper.
things, hold on. I got to show you my Christmas present.
Oh my gosh,
Oh, this is the best.
it is the best.
So we had a little get together last evening for Happy New Year / White Elephant,
Drama Mama Christmas.
Drama Mama Christmas,
And New Year's party.
New Year's re-gift. Okay, so
Okay.
the fact that we got to do it after Christmas was great because we got to White Elephant gifts that maybe we had received for Christmas that we were like, about, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, this isn't my white
this
elephant.
is not a white elephant.
They make fun of
no.
me because I'm old and I can't see. And I never have glasses with me. So they're always trying to show me things. I'm like, I don't know what that says. So they bought me a chain.
Yeah.
So now I can be
Yeah.
like the little grannies.
So
and
on
have
our
the
last
chain.
podcast, we talked about it, and she
Yes.
was like, "Yeah, I need one of those things," and we were like,
Yeah, now you
Note
will
taken.
always have your glasses.
Well, I was wearing it around the house. Lily Kate was mortified. She's like, "You're not wearing that." I'm like, "Actually, I think I might, because they're always there when you need them."
I saw something the other day on the, like, as seen on TV. So, the little thing I bought you for when we're backstage, it's got the
Yes.
little magnifying with the light to it, but it's like handheld. They actually make like an iPad-sized version of that has like a way more powerful magnifier.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, I have to find it.
Yeah, you do. Yes,
I have to
you
give
do.
it to Angela.
I lose 3 pair a week.
Really?
Do you?
Oh yeah.
Well, maybe you need to
But
change
you wear
some.
Maybe every other week.
you want
every
to
other
borrow my
week,
chain?
I might need it.
I want it
I
back,
need
though.
it. They usually
Nice
work their way
mask.
back to me at some
Right.
point.
Oh, that's good at
I'm
least.
sure there's 13 pairs scattered about backstage down there.
That can get kind of expensive, though.
Yeah, not the ones I buy.
Yeah, that's,
okay.
I buy at the
Yeah.
Walmart
Yeah.
3-pack
Yeah.
because I do lose them a lot. Okay, see, we've already gotten off track.
"Yeah, it
Jeez.
happens."
Yeah.
Sorry, Dan.
Squirrel.
It's going to happen a lot.
Anyway, I'm Dan Chesnicka, Theater Winter Haven.
I know. Way to bring it back around for us, Dan.
Good job.
My-
Because we're not real good at that.
So, all right. Start with your background and tell us how you kind of got into this position that you're in now. Like, what led up to this?
Oh my gosh,
I know, it's
that's
probably a long road,
loaded
right?
question. Yeah. Well, when I was a kid, I was a kid actor.
Okay.
I lived in Massachusetts. I did the school plays, of course, but there was a professional theater in the town adjacent to mine called Stage West in West Springfield, Massachusetts. And that's where I took my acting classes on Saturdays and such. And then I got into a few plays, and it was super cool because, there were matinees. You got off of school for a couple of
Nice.
weeks to do these matinees, and I'd have to go. My grandparents lived closer, so I'd have to go live with my grandparents for a couple of weeks at a time, and that was kind of cool because they would spoil me. So I was kind of in that world, and I did it all through high school, both at school stuff, but also at Stage West, which was great fun. But I was also an athlete, and I got a scholarship for my athletics when I went to college. So when they're paying you to do athletics, there's no time for you have a job.
Makes sense,
I was an athlete, so that was who I was for 4 years.
What sport?
I was a diver on the swim team.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Okay.
Google me. I was
Oh,
pretty good.
totally.
No.
I'm curious.
So I spent most of my time through college diving and focusing on that, and I occasionally did some schoolwork, but mostly diving. And then flash forward 15 years, and I had kids about the same age as your kids, and we found our way over here to Theater Winter Haven, and I, at that time, was an inventor, so I didn't really have a proper job. I invented products. They were found in Walmart and Bass Pro Shops and all. So I was kind of living off the royalty of my products, and every now and then having to go peddle them at a trade show or go to China to visit my factories or whatever. But I didn't clock in, clock out anywhere. So my kids and I spent a lot of time here doing stuff. My daughter, Morgan, worked virtually every show for the better part of her junior high and high school years, and my son would occasionally come and help build sets, and I would do that too. And my youngest daughter would be working the spotlight, and they would all occasionally make it on stage, but also a lot of tech stuff. So I was here a lot, and I had a lot of time, so I would often volunteer a lot of that time, especially building stuff. And I got put on the board of directors. And so after 45 years, Norman Small, who founded Theater Winter Haven, announced that he was going to retire. And we were a little panicked. We did a nationwide search to try and find a successor to Norman. And it was a difficult process because, a lot of people come in and they look and they talk about all the things that you should change. And we were pretty interested in making sure that we preserved a lot of the things that made us. So it was a difficult process. We ultimately offered the job to one of the candidates, and then he wanted too much money or whatever. There was a negotiation, and it ultimately fell through. So I threw my name in the in the ring, and I probably because of lack of other choices, I was I was given the job, and so it's my job to protect it for several years until the next person comes along. So,
That's a great story.
so I'm a theater dad, I guess.
Yeah.
It's that progression.
Yeah.
You start volunteering and you keep moving up the ladder, and next
Lord.
thing you know, you're running a theater.
Yeah, I if you had asked me, maybe when I was 11, I would have said, yeah, I'd love to spend my whole life in a theater, but it hadn't been the focus of my life, certainly not my professional life, although I did have 12 years at Disney, but that was all in operations. So,
Okay.
so that's kind of how I ended up here through loving it.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's kind of the
loving
best
what it
way
did
to
for,
end up here,
Yeah.
right?
It
and
is
loving
the
what it
best
did
way.
for my kids and my family, and
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I
my
get that.
story, I guess.
Well, I mean, that's
fantastic.
It's a similar story to where we're at, right?
Yeah.
You're doing it for your kids.
Yeah.
You just get in here, and it's such a nice way to spend time with them. Everybody's doing something together, and it's supporting something that the kids love. And
Well, and I also remember as a kid what it gave me when I was involved when I was 11, 12, 13. And, I think there's very few things in the world that can prepare a kid for life than working in a theater. For one reason, even though you're 11, 12, 13 years old, your voice is every bit as important as every single one of the adults. You're carrying the show as much as every one of the adults that are in that show too, and you're treated with the same amount of importance and the same amount of respect, and your voice matters every bit as much as any of the adults that are around you. Also, very often you're working with a lot of adults, even though you're 11, 12, 13, and you have to learn to communicate and behave in such a way that will make you successful in that environment. And I think it gives all these kids who get involved in theater such an advantage at such a young age that just gets accumulated as they go through life. So I think theater kids, when they get out into the real world, are starting on third base. So it's important to me to make sure that we have as much opportunity as we can for as many kids in our community as we possibly can provide, and it's why we've been expanding so much, and even just beyond theater. We have our dance programs, and we have our community marching bands, and we have our community choirs, because just coming into this building and being part of the ecosystem that we have here will set kids up, I think, for great
Yeah, totally.
success, not only in their young lives, but something that they will carry with them forever. So part of my goal is just to be sure to cast a wider net for anyone. And when I say serving our community, I mean serving our whole community. We also do programs over in Florence Villa at the recreational center over there after school.
Nice.
And those are for, at-risk kids who they're in that program because their folks can't afford childcare after school and all that. But I want to bring theater to them too. So it's important for us to get out into the community and get to the places where we can do the best service to the whole community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Community theater, community is right in the word. So
Yeah,
it's
totally.
not all about what happens on the stage. In fact, that's just a fraction of what happens. You have to meet people where they are. And
Yeah.
so,
It's that whole outreach thing.
yeah,
You
we're
said.
everywhere.
Yeah. Be there wherever they are.
Yeah.
Well, and that's kind of how this all started, is we saw what it did for our children and how it changed their lives and our lives together. And we want other families to experience that. And so that's kind of how this all began, is like, how can we help other families get involved in theater? So
I'm right with you.
You're killing
think-
it.
I mean, I love this place. I love the people who walk in the door. When I lay my head down on the pillow at night, I think about what's in their future, and I think about what it is, what resources, what tools do we have that we can help make this community great, not just for the kids either, for adults.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've been around theater enough to know that people who walk into a theater often march to the beat of a different drummer, and some of the characteristics that they have, we're weirdos. A lot of the people who go to theater are a little
you're
bit
talking
weird.
about.
They see the world a little differently, and you have to. No one ever got a lead role by being just like everybody else. It's part of being different is celebrated at a theater. and in the arts in general. But, you know, characteristics that might often get you bullied or made fun of in a school or an environment where everybody's trying to conform and be cool and all that kind of stuff. The thing that might get you bullied there is going to get you rewarded here.
Yeah.
So come hang out with us. We'll be a band of misfits together, and we're, you know, and we're going to succeed. I mean, I can see what's I look at the kids who have come through this program, my own kids included, and look at what they're doing now, and I think, boy, all of those advantages that they got, largely through the theater. I don't want to give full credit to it because there's a whole lot of other stuff, but largely through the theater have really set them up for a great life. And so I'm proud. I'm proud to be part of preserving that and, you know, guarding it so it will continue for another 50 years, you know.
Yeah. Oh, we're so thankful for people like you and you, of course, for being that safeguard.
Yes.
Like making sure that we always have this place for us and for our kids and for the rest of the community.
And making it such a positive place.
Yeah.
When we came over and did Seussical, our first experience here, we weren't sure what was going to happen, what would it be like, and everyone was so incredibly open and
Well,
kind
that's our
and
job.
welcoming.
We're a customer service.
Yeah.
Graceful.
We're,
It's great.
you know, we're really a customer service organization. You know, I know we're not a play factory. You know, I think every member of the staff is dedicated to making the dreams of those folks who walk through the door happen, even if those dreams happen in 6 weeks and it's you're being awesome in a show or, you know, so it's our goal to try and make it that place where you're safe and where it's an escape, especially because, as I say, a lot of the kids who come here, adults too, are running from something or towards something, and this has to be that place where they can always come and land soft.
Well, and the kids love you. They kept talking about, oh, Mr. Dan, Mr. Dan. I'm like, who's this Dan guy they keep talking about? And then
That's sweet. I love them too.
But I think that's because, you know, you show up for them, right? They will say he comes to rehearsals, he's at every show.
Yeah, they see you.
Yes, you're around and you're always
They
supportive.
get to know you.
Yeah.
I never miss a show.
It's a big
If I mean, I don't say never. I rarely will miss a show, especially an Academy show. And I try to go see them wherever they're,
Yes,
you know, whenever
yeah.
it's out at different theaters too.
Well, you're an adult. It's like they're looking up to you, and you're
Yes.
you're a champion for them. You're
Yeah.
supporting them
It's a big
when you
deal.
do that. It is.
Yes.
It's a huge
It's a big
deal.
deal.
Well, that's
They'll
And
be
it's
like,
such a big part of.
"Dan
I mean,
saw
if
the show last night."
as this person who's trying to safeguard this kind of space, this safe space, right, for creatives in the community. And for you to just take that little extra step, it may seem like maybe it's not a big deal, but it is. It's such a huge deal, and it's a big part of what makes it successful and feeds back into this thing you're safeguarding. Like,
well,
it's
the bigger
cyclical.
deal is I think we're all the same thing. You know, I don't know that there is, I think all community theaters across this nation are the same thing. We're all really trying to do the same thing. So, of course I'm going to go, you know, if I can, because I feel a kinship.
Yeah. And it's your safe space too, right? I
Yeah,
mean, you know,
yeah. I mean,
kinda feel that way too.
it really is. Yeah, it's a place where I feel. Yeah, I guess I feel safe too. Yeah.
So, what are some of the challenges and rewards of producing and directing theater in a community?
Well, I'm not a director,
Okay.
so I want to make that clear. You know, I don't consider myself an artist.
I don't know. I saw you working on some props down there. That feels
Yeah.
very artist.
Well, I do a little bit of everything. You know, I'll touch a little bit of everything, but the hardest part about producing is, I mean, I have to take care of the whole forest. I can't get too involved in any single tree in the forest. So in a theater, there are a lot of different constituencies, all of which have very different goals and often very competing goals.
Okay.
You know, so like a lot of the actors would come to me and say, how come we're always doing these huge toe-tapping musicals and, you know, can't we do something really dramatic and meaty and all? But I have to keep in mind what the audience responds to. I have nearly 5,000 subscribers to Theater Winter Haven, and I need to make sure that I'm giving them the things that they want to see, because if I don't have those 4,000 subscribers, then suddenly I don't have the resources to be able to do all of these other things that I want to do, like going into the schools every with Drama Time Live with every second grade, all these things that we do also that just bleed money. So I have to look at it as a business when I'm in there. So I can't. The hardest part about being a producer, I will say, is there are a number of different constituencies, whether it be the actors, the staff, the guest artists, the audience, our civic leaders. We're in a city building. I have a real responsibility to do good work for this community. All of them, the county who gives us money because they want us to drive incremental business from outside the county to come here, so we generate tax money through restaurant and hotel sales, all that kind of stuff.
Sure,
I have a role in fitting all of
Truly
these pieces.
community.
Right,
Yeah.
and they don't necessarily, these pieces don't fit together necessarily well, so it's a lot of the job is determining which constituency you're going to disappoint just a little bit.
Right.
Okay.
Probably every day.
To balance
you gotta
the
pick
scales
one.
a little
Yeah,
bit.
so
Yeah.
I'm keeping all these plates spinning, and I would guess that I've heard that each constituency is like, why aren't you focusing on this one thing that I care so much about? And I care about it too, but I also need to make sure that, you know,
20 other plates are spinning.
20 other plates continue to be spinning as well. I got to write
Yeah.
grants and there's a 100 things.
It's a challenge.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that you're not focusing on any one thing that kind of upsets the apple cart more than any of the others. So finding your feet on that, and I'm not saying I do it right. I don't think I do. But I do it right for me. I do it the best way that I possibly can to keep everything okay.
Do the plates help you kind of balance as well? Do you get some
Sometimes.
assistance?
Sometimes. I'll give you an example. So during the process of a show, I have now learned that there's key points where I switch my focus. So like in pre-production, when we're planning something out, it's really about my guest artist, the director, the music director, if I've hired one, all those folks that I've brought on to run the show, and we're planning, the lighting designer, all those folks, as we're planning it out. Once the show gets cast, my focus shifts a little bit from them being the central point to those volunteer actors and volunteer technicians that come on to execute that. And my focus is there. Doesn't mean that those guest artists aren't important still. Doesn't mean my staff isn't important still.
Yeah.
It does. But my focus is now shifted to that. And then once opening night happens, my focus has to shift toward the paying audience
the
that's
audience.
coming to see that. So whereas I might have a lot of time to talk about someone, an actor or a technician's situation during the rehearsal period, and I'll, once we're in production, that has to take a back seat now, because right now we're talking about what is best for the audience.
Right.
So I mentally make that shift. And sometimes we even talk about it, because once you hit tech weekend, for example, you have to say to the actors, this is no longer about you. You've had the past 6 weeks to work on your stuff. Right now, this 5-day tech period is about the people who are working the lights and people who are working the sound, and you are serving them at this point. So you have to push in the clutch and and downshift a little bit to understand that you're now serving this process as opposed to the whole process serving you.
Yeah.
So
That's an amazing way to put that. I know it
Little
probably
theory.
seems to you like totally duh, but it's never been expressed that way, that Tech Week is then the focus on. I know it's the focus on the tech, but
Yeah.
To hear it in words
yes.
like that.
Yeah, that just makes, okay. I just-
well, and the people who
Prioritization.
yeah.
the people who do the best, kid or adult, are the ones who understand that this train is moving. The second we start, for us, the train's, us, the staff, the train starts a year or more in advance. But once the auditions happen and we get going, we're now on the clock, and that train has to go down. The people who are the most successful are the ones who understand that and make sure that it stays on the track. If you feel it leaning, they can counterbalance.
Right.
The ones that are the least successful are the ones who want to take detours, left, right, the ones that pull you off the track and stop the process or hit,
Yeah.
So those people who understand that it's got to be constant forward motion in every department are the ones that really, really do well here.
So you've talked a lot kind of about the theater itself, but the community at large is very supportive, and you're inversely supportive of the community. How does that relationship kind of work with you in the city and you in the county, for example?
Well, I always say that we want to be a spoke in the wheel of everyone who wants to do well in this community, or do good. I shouldn't say do well, do good in this community. So virtually every nonprofit organization in Winter Haven interacts with us in some way, whether it's we set up lighting for their gala events, whether it's we have some performers who do a little something to open up their show, whether it's I provide the ski team with costumes for their show. We are open to any nonprofit organization in this town who's trying to
Wow.
do good. And
I think you're more than a spoke.
Yeah.
sometimes with a hub.
I kind of feel like that bit in the middle.
Yeah, whatever you call that thing.
That thing.
The bit in the middle, that's what you call that thing.
But for example, there's an annual lip sync battle that raises money for the Public Education Partnership and the Cypress Junction Montessori School here in Winter Haven, and we produce that whole show for them. We get them all the costumes, we cut all the music, we do soup to nuts. We do that, and to date, now we've raised, I think, nearly $300,000 for education here
Wow.
in Polk County. Theater doesn't get a dime. We don't charge at all for that kind of thing, but
Yeah.
it's part of our community service. We also have a lot of resources, in terms of our prop room and our costume storage room and all that kind of stuff, which is always open to schools that are putting on plays, other community theaters. I just dropped a grand piano off at Haines City
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Community Theater.
That's not easy to do.
So, well, it's a shell. I can lift it myself.
Okay.
But it's important to us that we recognize our role in the community. We have our Drama Time Live kids. I know you know that well.
Yes.
And that goes into every single second grade, helping with the reading programs here in Winter Haven, concentrating on fables. So we help with that, and that was something we worked together with the Polk County School Board on. We have a group of senior citizens called the Act 4 players. The Act 4 players go to nursing homes and assisted living facilities and perform in those areas too. We just, our marching band is made up of at-risk kids who need after-school activities, so we do that, and we're in parades and all that kind of stuff. So the goal is, if you think of a Boys and Girls Club, that's, I guess, centered more around sports. We are a community resource, we're always open, that is centered around the arts.
So if a school's getting ready to do a production and they need a little costume help, that's something you guys would do?
Of course, we do it routinely. Yeah.
Good to know. Our kids are getting ready to audition for Frozen at
okay.
Rochelle.
Yeah,
We're all the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Rochelle knows, I think, pretty well that we're happy to
Not
lend
to put you
that.
on the spot
Yeah.
or anything, but
I think,
just curious.
it
throw
wouldn't
it
be
out
new.
there.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So through all of that outreach, basically, the people that see the benefits of that outreach turn around and help support the theater itself, and just everything kind of feeds in on itself and makes sure that it thrives.
That's the goal, but even if it doesn't, who cares? I mean, we're still doing good in the, I don't need to know that at the end of that line, it somehow benefits the theater, because I know at the start of that line it's benefiting the community.
Yeah.
So
So it doesn't have to be a symbiotic type situation. You can, and I'm sure it
I prefer it's not a parasitic relationship. But let's hope for symbiosis.
yes.
But No, it doesn't have to be.
Right,
You know,
right.
you have to meet people where they are.
Absolutely.
And sometimes, you know, especially in an organization such as ours, we have a lot of resources. I mean, look at all the space that we have, and
Yeah.
we have, you know, 50 years of stuff that has piled up, and we have a great staff with amazing skills, and you know, it doesn't have to be, there doesn't have to be parity for sure.
Right.
You know, sometimes I think we're committed to doing good in our community because we're committed to doing good in our community,
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
whether we get something for it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's organic. It's just natural. You know, people are going to want to come and support the theater because they know
Yeah.
what they're doing out there. You know, like if I know my child's being taken care of and I'm able to take advantage of resources or whatever, I'm like, oh,
Well,
we're going to
I
go see
mean,
a show, you know?
This is a city facility, so clearly the city values us. You know, we've been here since it opened, this building opened, and then when they did the construction over there, we got all this additional space to continue to
Yeah, that
manage
feels
the
like
theater.
the city's
We have
really
a second
supported you.
we have a second theater now, so so clearly we're a benefit in the
absolutely.
eyes of our city leaders.
Do you do any work directly with the city leaders, or they're
Oh, yeah.
seeing it organically on their own?
I have all of them, all the city commissioners in my phone.
Nice,
And,
nice, good.
That's
great
good.
friends with
Yeah.
the,
You have a good
the mayor
relationship.
and the city and the city manager. So yeah, I think that I don't think there's much air between the city leadership and us, and we share the management of this building. So there's not a day that goes by where I'm not interacting with the city about something. And
Right.
I hope we give as well as we get.
Yeah.
I think they would tell you we do.
Yeah.
I think the fact that they've supported you with extra facilities and stuff,
Yeah, I
and
think it's pretty
helping you
obvious, right?
update and keep this space thriving,
Yeah.
definitely speaks to their commitment to that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Obviously, without the support of the city, we would.
What I wonder is, like, what is it that makes this so different as opposed to, like, I know there's a community theater in Plant City, for example. Like, why is that one not thriving in the same way that this space does?
I don't know that they're not. I think to compare community theater to community theater is probably the wrong approach.
Is it?
Because every community is different, and every community needs a little bit of little something different from their community. So, Winter Haven, we are blessed in that, theater is generally consumed by the young kids and older folks, retirees. And we have here in Winter Haven a great resource of both. So you lose people in the middle when they're making their livelihood and they're raising
Right,
their
they're
kids
busy
and they're
and-
doing all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But we have 5 or 6 retirement communities that are located right around us. We have a pretty engaged youth program that people want to be a part of, and we're lucky in that. Our demographics are such that we're pretty lucky. We're also far enough away from Orlando and far enough away from Tampa where to consume the art that's happening in either one of those locations, makes it tough,
A little bit of a further
do that.
drive. And
Yeah. It's
absolutely,
just
yeah.
not.
Yeah.
So,
I-4.
we're also part of a great ecosystem of community theaters with Lakeland and Venice and Manatee and, all of us who kind of share resources back and forth. So we're able to do productions that are, in my opinion, better than the traveling productions that happen throughout the country. We have just those shared resources allow us to be able to do that. We have a great talent pool because of largely because of our location and because of the theme parks, Legoland, Disney, Universal. All of the people around here are, or not all, but many are tied into the entertainment industry in one way or another. So we're lucky in a lot of
Yeah.
ways, and we're also good. We care. So one of the things that I'm really proud of is that we put a lot of effort and expense into our shows. When we do a show here, we're not mailing it in. It is, our lighting designer, very often we fly down from New York City, where he was just recently working on some sort of, Broadway something. We try to find the best directors we possibly can, the best lighting designers we possibly can, the best scenic designers we possibly can, and give amateurs an opportunity to perform surrounded by the best professionals that are available, and give them that opportunity to have a world-class sandbox to be able to play in. And we're very successful in that.
Yeah, it's funny because for a while now, we've always kind of talked about as parents, like, it feels almost like we're in this weird little bubble, this area that we live, where there's so much talent and there's so much opportunity for that talent to grow and to perform. And, for a hot minute, like my husband and I, like, we were looking at moving and for work related stuff. And, when we were looking out in like Apollo Beach area, there wasn't as much stuff out there for our artistic kids.
Sure.
The schools weren't really kind of geared towards that. Like we have here, like Harrison, for example. I mean, there's nothing like that out there for them. And I just, at that point, I started to realize we had this kind of special thing here. And I couldn't put my finger on why, but I think you've just explained exactly why. Why we have that bubble.
Location, yeah.
It's a lot of things, though.
Yeah.
Well,
Sure.
But there are those bubbles. There's a million of those bubbles.
Yeah.
Part of the trick is finding it. But there are so many talented people out there. So many wildly talented people out there. And there are so many that would be given the opportunities.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I worry about the most is that, like a couple weeks ago, we had auditions for Into the Woods. We had over 160 people audition for 19 roles. So I worry. I don't worry about the 19. I worry about the other 140, and making sure that we have opportunities for them also,
Right.
So
They didn't make it in this show, but that doesn't mean they won't make it in the next.
Yeah. Or come hang out with us on a Saturday and do the Saturday, or take a voice lesson downstairs, We have scholarships for everything. So we've made the commitment here that no one is going to be excluded because they don't have enough money. We'll find a way, we'll find a way to make sure that you can be part of it all.
Yeah.
So,
My heart is just
I know, right?
Warming.
so, yeah, so the trick is to make sure that we have enough stuff happening so everybody who wants to be part of it can be part of it. And in a business where no is part of it, you get a lot of no's when you're an actor,
Yeah, it's definitely part of it.
You should get more no's than you get yeses if you're in the right system. But I want to make sure that we have opportunities for you beyond what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like you said before, no may not be you're not in the show, but you may not be getting the part you want, the lead part. You might be
Right.
part of the ensemble.
Right.
Which,
Well, for me, I don't know. The ensemble is the best place to be. I don't know why people aren't lining up to try and be in the ensemble because that's the place where you're going to learn the most. You're going to get the most stage time, usually. You're going to learn skill sets that you're not going to learn as a principal performer. You got to be able to harmonize. You got to be able to dance. You got 7 dance numbers. You got to learn all that kind of stuff. That you're going to have 5 quick changes, and there's going to be a million things you're going to have to do as a member of the ensemble that the principals are kind of sleeping on. I've seen it happen a lot where some of the people who are who are in the ensemble a lot get better and better and better and better and better, and the people who are in the lead roles kind of stay at that level.
Plateau.
Yeah, they're kind of okay, and then the turtle passes the hare. So it happens quite often. My recommendation for any kid or adult is to do as much as you can, even if it's especially if it's in the ensemble. I'm always, I give a heavy eye roll sometimes, and I know that this is necessary, but some people say, on their form, they're like, I either get lead or nothing, you know. Well,
Yeah.
okay.
Like it's not gonna be worth my time.
Yeah, it's not gonna be worth
Yeah.
it. And I know
If
that
only they knew.
I
Yeah,
know
exactly.
that they're not
It's the
going
wrong
to.
mindset.
I guess I shouldn't say I know, but I know that the people who do the best are the people who you can't keep away from this place. Whether it's the ones that are in the ensemble, whether it's the ones that are in the leads, whether it's the ones who are running the spotlight, whether it's the folks who are helping focus on a Saturday during tech, it's the people who just want to be here are the ones who are going to always get the most opportunity. And I would also advise everybody, as much as I say being in the ensemble, also do a lot of tech.
Yes.
Do a lot of tech. Because there's very often more magic happening backstage than is happening on stage. The folks who are doing tech are incredibly skilled, usually, at the things that they have to do. But I would say build props, build sets, work on lights, figure out how to work sound. If I see people here who are doing all of those things and are really engaged in learning all of those, I know that they're going to have a great experience, and probably, if they choose, a great career. You know, there's so many people who have come out of here, and I don't want to take credit for them because they've done a whole, you know, but there's so many people who come out of here who have now earning their living in the arts and in the theater arts especially. A lot of them on the tech side, but that's brilliant. You know,
Yeah.
I know as an 11-year-old, if you told me I was going to spend my last third of my life in a theater, nothing would have made me happier, you know, just living in a theater. And some people get to do that their entire lives, which I think is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's envious, or I'm envious. Enviable. Yeah.
What are you?
One of those things.
All of those things.
Well, and I love
She's
that you
jelly.
provide for the children this experience to be in a show, and it costs them nothing. Because
Costs them nothing.
I have friends who are in other theaters or
Yeah.
different regions, and they're not only paying $250 to be in the show, but then they're having to buy every single costume, $800 worth
That's
of
how most
costumes.
theaters survive. It's all, most theaters use the kids as a profit center.
Like a pay to play. type
It's all,
situation.
yeah, not all. A
Yeah.
lot of it is pay to play across the country. That's how they earn their money. And then that is what, they leverage that to pay for some of the other stuff.
So
And
how
we're
do you do the
opposite.
reverse? How do you do that?
I don't know.
This is one of
Not
the marvels.
spoiling a secret.
Well, here's the thing. Nothing makes money. So you have to, this is a great thing because I owned a bit, you know, I owned my
Yeah.
my business
You're a
before.
businessman as well. Yeah.
Sure. But this isn't a business.
Right.
So that became clear to me in month 2.
Oh, I bet.
That you can't, if I were to do what makes sense, it wouldn't be what it is. You know, so you have to throw that away. So I think theater might be better off if people stopped trying to be clever about their money. You know, like I see a lot of people, oh, well, we have a costume rental business on the side. Just give the you know, how much you really make? You got to pay the person to manage through that whole thing and do the whole, just loan out the costumes when, you know, that's why I think we're all the same thing. Nothing makes money except the whole thing. So, and that doesn't make money. We're a nonprofit organization. Our goal is 0.
Right.
You know, that's the goal, 0. And if you're bragging that you're banking X number of dollars, well, put it back into your community.
Yeah.
Put it back into your,
Yes.
you know,
That's a
there's
great
no,
point.
you need to have reserves, as we found out during the pandemic. You know, there has to be that. We know we have to have that reserves in order to have a healthy business. But our primary goal is not to generate revenue, and we're not going to. I've never really saw a community theater that someone's getting rich off of.
Right.
You know, so stop it, and just figure out how to do the best way to how to serve. You know, we have nearly 5,000 subscribers, but we keep our prices artificially low. We know that a number of people in this community are on a fixed income. We know that people can only have a certain threshold. So we price our tickets not at what we think the most the market can bear. We charge it the least that we can do to still
Yeah, kind of
make even.
Get
And
by.
then we go hunting for grants, and we go hunting for gifts, and we beg for money, and we do all of those things that we need to do in order to survive. But it's not, when I lay in bed at night and think about Theater Winter Haven, I don't think about how to squeeze people for more money, because that's not the point.
Yeah.
In fact, the point is the opposite of that. The point is to make it as accessible to as many people as you possibly can in your community. So,
Well, that's like a big difference, right, between a community theater and like a regional theater. Like the regionals, when you make that change and it's more about them being a business, right? Or
I think so, but I have no interest in that model,
Yeah.
so I haven't really looked into it.
do regional theaters support their communities as well at all?
I don't
or-
know. I mean, I'm sure there's some that do great work. I don't want to ever say anything's less than. There's a million different ways to do something. But for us, for me, for Theater Winter Haven at this moment, we're constantly looking for more ways to serve.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's great.
So it is a business. Money's real. You have to generate revenue in order to keep all of these parts moving.
Right, and to continue to have the long list of programs that you run
Right.
in order to
Right. So
outreach in the community and
being
stuff.
fiscally smart is very, 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 very important. And, throwing nickels around like they're manhole covers is important too. You can't spend stupidly when every dollar is a dollar that could go toward a scholarship, or
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's true.
So your facility's here.
yes.
You've got this amazing upstairs space that we've seen a little bit of. You have like rehearsal rooms and stuff back here, right?
Yes, we have. Do you want me to describe what we have here?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, do it.
Okay, so we have 3 performance spaces. Our main stage theater, which is the one that has been operating for 50 years.
Long time, right?
So that's 334 seats. It's a proscenium theater. It's, in my opinion, one of the best places to see a show that I've ever been. The way that the house is raked and the stage is below you. You get to see every single dance step. You're never looking up. You're always looking down on the audience. We have great sight lines. Our stage right and stage left are huge, so we can do a lot with scenery. We have a full
Yes.
fly loft. There's
It's impressive.
There's
Yes,
a ton of
very.
advantages that we have for that particular space, and that's remarkable. Our second space we just finished building, just this Thursday, January 5th. Is that what it is? It's this Thursday,
Something like
January
that.
something. I think it's the 5th. We'll have our second adult show in our new space, named after Norman and Linda Small, who are our founders, the Norman and Linda Small Second Stage. And that is it's kind of like a hybrid theater. It's nestled into a corner. It has 199 seats. And it's designed for really more intimate types of shows. Where the audience will feel like they're sitting on the stage. It's close up theater. It's a beautiful, beautiful space. I'm really proud of how it came out. I think people ultimately are going to love it, and I think as time goes by, many will ultimately prefer it, just because of the way that we're able to present shows and tell
Very
stories.
intimate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're like
in
right
that
there
space.
in it.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's
So-
Disenchanted's
Disenchanted,
stage, right?
yeah, Disenchanted is opening up there on Thursday. And today is the 1st of January, so
Yes.
whatever.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Just a couple days.
Well, this will
couple
drop
days.
on Tuesday. This episode will.
Oh, so the day after tomorrow, if you're listening to us when this comes out.
Yeah.
Perfect. Get your tickets.
So we love that space, and that's where we're doing Into the Woods as well. Also, it's going to be the site of where we do the Penguin Project, which I'm
Yes.
incredibly proud of.
Yeah.
We're a replication site for the Penguin Project, which is a nationwide program specifically designed, a theater program specifically designed for children with developmental and or physical disabilities. Dr. Andy Morgan designed it. He's up in Pennsylvania. There's a number of replication sites throughout the country. He's coming here to help us set up ours.
Wow.
We're going to be doing Aristocats kids down there in that space. And when we built the space, we kept that in mind. So you'll notice if you look in there that the stage is all ramped on every single side. It's completely accessible from every different
Oh, wow.
every different angle. So we built
That's
the
amazing.
stage
Yeah.
to be accessible for folks with multiple kinds of disabilities, which we're really excited about. And I think that's going to be something that's going to change our lives, frankly. And it's one more way that we're serving our whole community. That's
Yes.
part
Yeah.
of the
What
mantra.
an honor to get to be a part of that great program.
I'm
Yeah.
excited about it. It's not like they chose us, you
Right.
know.
But still, it's still a big honor.
I pursued them.
Yeah.
But yes, so I'm thrilled to be able to do it because I love that there's a pre-existing structure designed by a child psychologist who's also, so we all will be following a very clear path to success that has been proven in a number of different places before us.
Yeah, we're really good friends with Laura Beard, and she's been talking a lot about how she's going to be doing that with you guys.
She's a
so
dream.
excited.
I know you guys
Oh, I
talked to
know.
her.
Oh, yes.
I'm ASMing for her at Into the Woods.
Oh.
Yeah, so you'll see me again here real soon.
Oh, great, great,
Yeah,
great,
yeah.
great. Yeah, I love her more than my lunch. She's the greatest.
So do we.
She's the greatest.
Yeah.
So that's space 2, performance
Okay.
space. Space 3, performance space, is a little cabaret lounge that is nestled up in the where our old box office used to be, up in that area there, just adjacent to the art gallery. And that's called the Ghostlight Lounge. The Ghostlight Lounge is designed for the artists in this community to have a sandbox, and they come to me with what they want to put in there. So Theater Winter Haven, unlike the main stage and the second stage, is not programming our own entertainment up there. So some of the things that have happened already are Marcus Brixa, who is a local classical guitarist, has a monthly guitar parlor up there where he invites guitarists from throughout Polk County to come up and play and work. They work on things, and there's an audience of maybe 70 people that are in there. Tommy did his Malcolm X the
Yes.
Musical concert in there, and just a couple nights ago, 2 nights ago,
Yeah.
he did like a little cabaret Tommy with Friends type things, co-hosted by you guys.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
That was
we had a-
fantastic.
Yeah, we had
Yeah,
fun seeing that
that's
space.
great.
It's really nice. It's
Yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
nice facility.
But it's available
Everything
for
is.
stage reads, and we've rigged it all out with karaoke. So if after a performance the cast wants to go up there and just have kind of a
Nice.
Fun.
and so
Oh my gosh.
we've got that all rigged out. So it's got musical theater, karaoke, but regular karaoke too. So all that kind of stuff, and we've done a number of kind of dueling piano-y type of things in there too. So it's just for
fun.
people, artists, to come in and do whatever it is that they want to do. They can charge if they want, and we don't keep that money. We donate it all the way back to the artists. So that's the third performance space. Now, to support all this, we need a lot of rehearsal spaces because right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things in production, in some form of production right now. So we have 5 or 6 rehearsal spaces, all of which are tailored a little bit differently. The floors are taped out to match the stages downstairs.
Okay.
So when we do rehearsals up here, they can kind of walk everything out on the same thing. Very often when we're rehearsing a play, I'll use Suds, for example, a play we did last year. It had 3 washing machines in it that rolled around, and then a bunch of platforms and different scenic elements. We'll go ahead and set the room up exactly like that. It might not be a washing machine. It might just be a box on wheels.
Right.
But so when they're
Yeah, they have a
rehearsing
prop.
in that space, they can work with practical items.
Right.
So they can really work it all out by the time they get down on the stage, because stage time is so valuable.
Yeah.
You're in rehearsal while the play ahead of you is already doing their stuff, so you can't get on stage until that's over. So we make it as stage-like as we possibly can in all of these rehearsal spaces. We have a dance studio. We're going to be making that a little bit better by adding a sprung floor and some Marley here in the next several months.
Nice.
But the goal is to just make all of these spaces as wonderful as they possibly can for the many people who come in and use them.
Yeah.
It's a lot. That's a lot of support that you can offer the community just in space alone.
Yep.
So what productions are kind of in that queue? You
Okay,
got Dream
so
Girls?
we just closed Elf. We have Dream Girls coming on the main stage. We have auditions for Little Shop of Horrors happening on January 8th. We have Disenchanted, which is going on the stage this Thursday, as I mentioned. Into the Woods has already started their process, which will be going into the small stage in February. And then we have a professional company coming in to do Menopause the Musical
Awesome.
between the closing of Dream Girls and the opening of Little Shop.
Wow.
And then, of
That's
course,
quite a lot,
And the
actually.
Penguin,
Yeah, it is.
the
Right,
Penguin
Penguin
Project
Project.
fires up in January. We start that for their April performance. April.
Do you have a lot of people signed up to do the Penguin Project already?
We have, we have. I don't know exactly how many, but it's starting.
Yeah.
So I think we're 15, 20.
That's great.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
So it's open just in case somebody's listening and wants to know more about it. You need, like we call them TKs and out of the box, like theater kids to partner up with the Penguin kids.
Yeah,
So
the way
it's
the Penguin
open-
Project works is that it's a scripted show. So, and that every part that is cast, there is a mentor that is cast along with that kid who has the disability. So
To, like, be their
they wear the
buddy.
same costume. Yeah, they're in the same thing, and their goal is to just kind of,
Yeah.
usher them through
What show is it that they're doing?
Aristocats Kids.
Oh, okay. Okay. And then you guys have your junior production of Cats, right? I think that's like in my head.
Later.
Yes, but
Is it summer?
Is
no,
that
that's
summer?
not summer. That's
Oh,
the
okay.
spring show.
Oh, we need to know all about this.
Yeah, there's some royalty stuff happening with that, so we may end
Okay.
up changing titles. But
Okay, no problem.
right now, it's scheduled to be Cats Junior. Yes.
Okay.
Cool.
It's
Nice.
just going to be a cat. Kind
Meow.
of.
Meow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love cats.
Well, that's fun. All right. So I have on here to share any memorable moments or stories from past productions. There's probably, you probably have too many to think of, to be honest. But
No, I mean, every single show is special in its own way. I don't want to tell any stories that kind of focus on any individuals, but there's a few things I'm proud of that have happened this year. Like, I don't know if any of you got a chance to see the play that goes wrong.
Oh,
The
yes,
show we
we
did
did.
at the.
So
Did
good.
We loved
we
it.
Ever. I think we spent a whole hour just talking about
Yes.
it.
yeah,
It's
Sarah
was
took us
fantastic.
backstage
Fantastic.
too and showed us like the platform and how that rig was. And oh my gosh.
So the play that goes wrong, for those of you listening, is a hour and a half of chaos. It is a murder mystery. Presumably, it's a murder mystery called The Murder at Haversham Manor. But during the course of the show, everything goes wrong, from things falling off of the wall to the trash can catching on fire to a second story that collapses 3 times in different ways to, by the end, all of the walls of the entire thing fall onto the ground. And it's just full of tricks, tons and tons of tricks. And the fun story that I have is that, we spent a lot of time figuring out how to do all this kind of stuff,
All the theater magic.
all that theater magic that goes in, which I love. That's my favorite thing. So, in the end, there was this Facebook group. It's a production group for people who are doing the show, because a lot of this stuff's really hard to figure out. So they ask questions, how did you do that? So I asked Kemp Brinson, who worked on a lot of these tricks, if he could just make a short YouTube video, post it on there in that private group that kind of shows how we accomplished all of these crazy
Little
tricks.
thing, yeah.
So he did so. And he posted it on the thing. Well, that's the backstory. A month goes by, and I get a frantic call from a theater saying, hey, I put this show on my schedule. It opens in 2 months. I don't know how to do any of this stuff. Can you sell me that collapsing platform that you have? How can you help? I'm like, I got it all. Just come tell me what you need. Come get it.
Oh.
So he comes down with a huge truck and his volunteers and staff in tow, and he says, "Oh my God, I'm so happy I found you guys. Here's what happened. I picked this show. It was on my calendar, and I just didn't know how to get it done. So in a panic, I flew to New York City to go see the show and to see if I could meet with the stage manager. So he flew to New York City, watched the show. He did get a meeting with the stage manager. He begged the stage manager to take him backstage and walk him through all the stuff. And she said, the stage manager is like, I can't do that. But there's this Facebook page that I belong to. And there's a little theater in Florida called Theater Winter Haven that put together this video. And they've put together how to do all these tricks. I will tell you that many of those tricks, the way they figured it out, is a lot simpler and a lot more reliable than what we've done. So I recommend you get in contact with someone from this Theater Winter Haven. So from somehow the New York production,
Wow.
the New York production was sending folks to us to help figure out how to do that whole show, which was kind of fun. That was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
I bet it was.
Yeah, another fun story. I went to see Hamilton in Chicago, and in Hamilton, Angelica was Karen Olivo, who came through our youth program here, and also Wayne Brady, who was
Like the Wayne Brady?
the Wayne Brady.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he did shows here for
Oh my gosh, I
in
didn't
his
know that.
I didn't either.
in his teenage years.
Oh.
So it was kind of neat that at that time, the hottest show in the world, at that time, two of the principals in the Chicago production were Theater Winter Haven alum. I thought that was kind of
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
thought that
it
was
is.
kind of neat.
Yeah.
It was kind of fun to go watch Spencer.
Yes.
You
We're
know.
going to go see him when we go to New
March.
York in March. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
We're
talk.
super excited.
He, I was here for when Spencer was in his first show with us, and I will tell you this: he is he's a great lesson for everybody in youth theater, because when everything Spencer got, he worked hard for. Some kids come in and they're like, bam, they're larger than life and they're high kicking right out of the gate. That wasn't Spencer. Spencer came in and he just loved what he did. He worked so hard. He worked so hard. And now he is in The Cursed Child on Broadway.
Yeah.
So,
doing it.
and swinging in for the lead, So,
He's more than a swing now.
was he?
Yeah, he's on the whole show now.
Yeah, he was in the show anyway, but he was if the lead got sick, he would take
Yeah.
he would take that part. So he,
It's cool.
you can look to him as an example of how to get it done, because his first role here, I think he was third on the call sheet, third or fourth on the call sheet. But that guy worked. And, I'm so pleased to see him doing so well.
Yeah.
He deserves it, right? Nothing replaces hard work.
No.
Yeah.
And we know that,
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
not often left speechless, but
I-
I'm like
well,
trying
I
to
know.
process
I
everything
know.
you've said. It's just amazing. I love you're a humble person, I can tell, because every time we try to compliment you, deflect.
Well, thank you.
But thank you.
Being humble is one of my greatest qualities.
I just love the positive energy that you're putting out in the universe. 'Cause that's,
Yes.
with it
palpable.
being New Year's, I've been thinking about how can we make a difference this year, and it's all about, like you're saying, doing good. Doesn't matter what you get anything out of it, helping others, reaching out, and just being a positive force in the world. So thank you, because
Oh,
you're
thank you.
clearly
Thank
doing
you.
that.
I mean,
Yes.
we log in 20,000 volunteer hours every single year. So, and I know all of you have been part of that. So thank you. I mean, it's amazing it's amazing how many people it takes to do something like this, you know, and I'm humbled to be a part of it.
Yeah. This great organization that is just creating opportunity.
Yeah.
And something for everyone. Like your season,
Yes.
you have an amazing season, but then there's all these little, like you said, the guitar or the choir concert or different
Yeah.
things. You've got something for everyone.
Well,
no
that's
matter
what
your
that's what
tastes
I
are.
mean. I think you got to meet people where they are. Not everybody's a musical theater or theater person, but that doesn't mean that they shouldn't have access to the arts. So there needs to be a place where that exists in every community. So I'm happy to be that place here in Winter Haven.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited. You know, we just had someone come to us last semester and started a strings program here. So, you know, every Monday night there's violins and
Nice.
cellos and everything happening up
awesome.
here.
That's
And
cool.
yeah, it's great fun. And I think just saying yes, 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 and we'll figure it out from there.
Right.
Yeah.
Figure out the logistics.
Yeah.
Oh, I do have a question for you.
Sure.
So you wear a different jacket for each
Yeah.
show. Tell us about that and how that got going.
Boy.
and-
Okay, so
Oh, I didn't
Have you
know
noticed?
anything
I
about
didn't
this.
know. No.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear it.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It started with, it was in my first season, and I tried to do, the first couple of shows, I tried to do something kind of clever, like the first show I produced was Sister Act, so I came out in a choir robe and just did a little thing. And I did something like that for a couple of shows, just something little. And then we did Saturday Night Fever, and one of our volunteers, Sarah Welton, she now works here. She's one of our sound technicians. She was volunteering in costuming at that time, and she made me like a disco ball jacket,
Nice.
which was awesome.
Yeah.
So then she was on the hook. So every show that we did was she would make me a jacket for the next couple of seasons. So there were a number of fun ones, like you know, I had a stained glass, a beautiful stained glass for Beauty and the Beast.
Wow.
And for Peter Pan, I had a London skyline that went around it and a bunch of light up
gosh.
little stars.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
And then people started expecting it. I didn't know that was going to happen. I thought we were just kind of doing it for
Created a
fun.
monster, right? Yeah.
So then people were like, "Well, what are you going to wear?" You know.
Yeah.
So now every single show I have to
Got to come up with something.
come up with something. But it's kind of fun. You know, it's more than kind of fun. It's fun. So poor Sarah's too busy to make them anymore. So so now I have to get creative.
You're on your own.
Yeah. So
We got Dream Girls coming,
Right.
so you're gonna have to think of something for that.
Gold sequins.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've done
That's
a lot with sequins.
Okay, I
You know,
bet.
I have my
It's
pink
pretty versatile.
sequins from Legally Blonde. But yeah, we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Always do.
And you open every show. It seems like you're.
I try.
announcing- Yeah.
One of the things I think is really important for me is to pay attention to the audience. You know, as I say, my focus shifts
Yeah.
once the gates open. So if I'm not here for a particular audience, I kind of feel guilty about it for a number of reasons. One, they're the end customer. They're the ones that need to be thanked, you know, on behalf of everyone that is doing all this kind of stuff. You know, we here are part of we're how the sausage gets made, so that's what we talk about. But for the vast majority of people who consume Theater Winter Haven, they don't know about any of that. Any of the stuff that we talked about. All they see is an hour and a half or 2 hours worth of entertainment, and that's what they care about. So, and that's, 50,000 tickets we sell a year to our various stuff. So I want to be there to say thank you to them for that. That's one reason. But also, I think it's important, during the whole process, the only stand-in for the audience is me. The director has got a very specific job to do. The choreographer has a very different specific job to do. All those folks, but the voice of the audience, in order for it to be heard through the whole process, that has to come from me. So I can when I stand in the back, I watch every single show, unless there's a birthday or something I have to do, which happens once or twice. Performance, I might miss 1 out of 20, but
That's pretty good.
but
Yeah.
but when I'm standing in the back of the house, I'm paying equal amount of attention to the audience as I am to what's happening on stage, and I'm seeing what they respond to and what they, and as I say, I don't consider myself an artist. I'm not. I couldn't do a director's job or a stage manager's job or a choreographer's job or an actor's job up on the stage, but I don't think there are a lot of people who knows audiences better than I do, because I've watched a lot of them. And I can instinctively tell now when I watch a rehearsal or what an audience is going to really lean into or what is going to, you might want to work on that part a little bit more, so I think I have a pretty good beat on that, so.
Yeah.
Well, I watched you during Elf, and you were walking around and greeting everybody, and you
I
knew
try to
everybody's
talk-
name and
I try
the
to talk to
backstory.
everybody. I try to talk to during intermission and before the show. I try to greet as many as I can coming in, and I try during intermission I go up in every row and talk to people. But
Yeah, I don't think anybody quite hypes up the opening of a show like you. When you get out there on
well,
the stage and
my approach on my approach on a kid show is way different than my approach in an adult show, because for the kid shows, most of those kids have never seen a live performance before, so they don't know how they're supposed to act.
yeah,
Right.
So
Yeah.
I try and give them a quick 5-minute lesson and also get them hyped
Please
up.
don't sit there quiet. Make some noise.
Yeah. Well, and also I think often, because they're coming from school on a bus to here, like they probably have been told to behave and to sit on their hands and to be, and that's not necessarily important in a theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the actors feed off the audience.
It's a conversation. That's I wish actors understood that often too, because it's not what the theater's not happening on the stage. It's happening in the hearts and the heads of the people sitting in the audience.
Yes.
So it's an exchange of energy, and that's some actors really do understand that and get that really, 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 really well. But that's important. It's also important for the audience to know that, So the more you give, the more you're going to get.
Yeah.
You have started our year off with a bang.
I know.
Did you go
Gabrielle
through
fired
your
up.
list? Did I do all right? Was that
Oh
all
my
right?
God, you
Yeah,
kidding?
it was so
This is
good.
amazing.
All right.
Yeah. Usually we have so much more input from us, but like you just
I just talked and talked and talked.
Which is
no,
amazing.
but
You-
it's
yeah.
fantastic.
Will you be on the show again?
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
You know what you should do? You should have like me and Alan,
Yes.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah.
or me, or me and Norm too. Something like that. I would love to
Yes.
just bounce. Have a conversation.
Oh yeah, that would be so much fun.
That would be a lot of fun. Talk about collaboration.
Oh, I
We'll just
know.
sit back and
Theater.
watch. We don't have to do anything.
I know.
Just-
I think just let the stories fly on that one.
Just set it up and let them.
yeah, exactly. Go.
Well, Alan,
provide the
I
platform.
volunteered at Lakeland as well. When
Yeah.
I was a theater dad, I was both places.
It's easy to kind of bounce between
Yeah.
the two
Sure, I lived in
facilities.
Auburndale, so it was a little closer to be here. But I could, I love that. I love that place. Alan's one of my heroes. I love every minute I spend in that building. So.
Yeah.
We do too.
Well, we appreciate when you come and support, because mostly our kids have done, stuff at Lakeland, and then we branched out here, and we were so excited.
I know.
come here,
After
and we were-
after seeing you in Seuss when we were here and kind of getting to know you there, and anytime you would come to the theater, it was like,
Yes.
okay, did you guys see Dan Dan's here?
They get all
Be like,
excited.
That's
What?
kind of weird to me.
Dan's
We get as excited as the kids do.
Yeah,
Did you see Dan?
they do. We always know when Dan's in the building.
Yeah.
Oh, we can hear you laughing.
I know. I have. That's what people say.
But that's okay. That's
Well,
all
thank
good.
you guys for doing this.
Well, thank you so much for being on here
Oh, it's
and
my pleasure.
helping
Yeah.
educate, because there's
Yes.
there's a lot that we need to get. I mean, we're trying to do our best to support the community too.
Sure. Yeah.
And we're kind of fumbling our way through, but it definitely helps to have knowledge share
All right, kids, if you're listening, do tech.
Oh,
Tech.
Yeah.
yes.
Tech.
Yes.
You learn
Yeah.
so much, and you appreciate the shows that much more having that experience in tech, I think.
Well, I mean, I love my technicians. I love.
Yeah, well, it's not going to happen without them.
Nope.
No.
You know?
Yeah.
So, and that's what's been great for all of our families is that it's something we can all do together. You know, like Michaela, she does spots and she's back there helping. Max, I have a 12-year-old son who the stage is not his jam, but man, does he enjoy like the engineer piece, and he loves being backstage.
tech
doing
stuff,
lights.
yeah.
all that stuff.
You get to blow things
You
up.
know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, that's
I
fantastic.
haven't blown anything up yet. Well, I guess we did have poppers, but
Yeah.
Oh, I got to do those.
yeah, those are kind of fun.
Confetti poppers.
Yeah. That's the most we've blown up.
They love
We did have
stripe,
a
you know?
cool dry ice fog machine in the last show.
Yes.
That was kind of fun to play with.
It was interesting because the dry ice and fog operates completely different when you don't have air conditioning versus when you do have
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, the air conditioner was out at Lakeland Community Theater for a bit, and then they fixed it.
And sucked the.
Yeah,
so
and
like-
all the fog went the other
Is that what
direction.
happens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, where'd the fog go?
Yes. So
Well,
it,
when there wasn't air coming down,
I
it
didn't
would
realize that's what happened.
was
behave the way you
fantastic.
wanted it to behave,
it
but then
filled
the
up
air.
the entire stage, and then
Yeah.
the next performance, all of a sudden, that we were
was like,
super happy and thankful that the air conditioning was working. However, it pushed all of the dry ice fog right
Back
back
off.
into our faces.
Yeah, it didn't go out on the stage like we wanted.
The fog's tricky.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
I have, I have low-lying fog machines. I have hazers. I have regular fog machines. I have probably 6 different types of fog down there,
Oh my gosh.
depending upon what it is that we need to do. And it seems like it's never.
Never
no,
working
it
right.
never behaved the
Never
way we wanted
enough.
to.
It's its own beast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had to kind of call all over the place too, and I think Nick Judy found fog for us, like found the dry ice for us at some place in like an industrial.
obscure-
Yeah.
Yeah,
I had to go
because we
pick
had
it
to
up.
go
Publix
get it.
carries dry ice.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Sometimes.
Yeah.
sometimes you call around to
But
6
that's
or
not
7
the,
of them, and they're
that's
still
not
like,
the
no.
most effective. You should call me. I'm a fog genius.
Oh,
Okay, so
next
you just
time.
put yourself out there.
That's
Dan.
right.
yeah,
I always do the fog.
Now we know.
yeah.
Point taken. We will definitely.
Well, thank you
reach
so
out.
much. We want
Oh, it's my pleasure.
value your
Yeah,
time, but this
thank
has been
you.
great.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I feel like all pumped up to start the year.
I know.
I know.
I
Let's
don't know
bring
how
on
we.
this
Let's go do some good, man.
Yeah, I don't know how we top that with the next show, but
I'm exhausted.
figure it out.
Yeah.
Thanks.
We did.
All right. Well,
Thank you.
thanks,
Oh wait,
everybody.
did you show the cat? You didn't show the cat.
Oh, okay. So,
So
I?
we did that gift
cat.
exchange
good.
we mentioned
Chris
at
can
the
get
top
it.
of the show.
Oh no.
And so this was not a regift. This was one I purposely bought for a
He's like,
gift
doesn't
exchange
wanna
I knew
touch
would
it.
Doesn't wanna
happen.
touch it.
Oh, he just didn't want to be in the shot, I think.
Oh,
But-
this. Oh God, I
but
can't
she
believe I'm
got it.
doing this.
Yeah. So I had originally.
I bought it,
opened
but she actually won the cat.
So I picked it as the gift, and then as true white elephant style, then you can go and you can steal
Steal
gifts.
it.
So when it got to be Angela's turn, she
couldn't
was
help
like,
myself.
"I'm going to take that fluffy kitty right off your hands."
Yep.
So here
but he's
we
really
are.
soft. Like
most of them.
well, not there, I guess. But
Thank God he thought.
put it back in
So
there.
next Christmas, white elephant.
There
Yeah,
you go.
there
All
you
right.
go.
Yeah, I don't know
Showing
how I'm
up.
going to top that one from a.
Yeah, I know.
You've
You've set yourself it's like the jacket. You've just set yourself up for.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I might have.
Now I'm anxious about what I'm going to wear for Dream Girls.
Oh,
I haven't
no.
thought about it yet. That's all right. I'll
totally
figure it
do a gold sequence. That would totally fit.
out. Well,
Yeah.
what I'm going to do for Disenchanted. That's in like 3 days.